All right, howdy guys. This video is going to be a little bit different than the past two videos. I'm just going to be talking to the camera, and we're just going to be talking about sacrificing art and creativity in order to appeal to the algorithm. This is specifically going to be talking about the YouTube algorithm, but it can be applied for like any algorithm that you talk about, whether that's like TikTok, Snapchat, whatever the heck. And I guess this is coming from the results of my latest video, which is the second and third pages of this journey. The video right now is titled Mind Your Business, but by the time that this video comes out, I'll be re-uploading that video and it's going to be titled something else. Right now it's called Is Comparing Yourself to Others a Good Thing? And so I just wanted to talk about this video really quick. When I posted my first page, faking it until we make it, I put a decent amount of effort into planning it, but I was mostly just winging it. I was just kind of going with the flow, just thinking like, oh, this would be a cool shot, or this would be some nice content to add into it. And I wasn't really thinking about making it like really, really, really good. And when I posted it, I wasn't really expecting anything. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna post it. Like, this is not gonna get like any views at all because I'm just a new channel. Surprisingly, I got 395 views on it and 20 likes and 8 comments. So thank you guys, first off. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, like this is kind of like validating. And I can see why people love doing YouTube if they're successful at it, because like this is kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of addicting. You get 400 views on a video that you spent a lot of time on, and a lot of these views, while I'd say maybe like 10 to 20 of them are from family and friends, the rest of them, the other like 370 of them, are from people that I don't know of. And it's just like random people clicking on this video, watching it, and all the comments. I think like 5 or 6 out of the 8 are just from random people just commenting on the video and saying like, "Hey, like this is a cool video." And I just thought that was so cool. And at first, I was coming in with the intention of this YouTube channel just to post videos because I like making videos and I thought it was just really fun. I was just making this for myself and maybe even for my future family whenever we go back and like if if my kids ever ask, they're like, "Oh, like what did you do as a kid, Dad?" And I can just like, show them these videos, which would be pretty cool. But the intention was like, oh, okay, whenever I do make it, like I can have something to look back on and kind of reminisce, like, like humble beginnings and everything. And I feel like that's changed now, which is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that, but it's changed a little bit. After I posted Mind Your Business, I went in I went in kind of with the raised expectations now, like, oh, like this last video got almost 400 views, and so I'm doing basically everything the same thumbnail, um, same kind of like thought-provoking title, I guess is kind of what I was trying to go for. Surprisingly, maybe not for a lot of people, but for me, after putting in all that effort, putting in more time into learning how to edit and adding like special effects to the video, it only got 10 views. And I'm pretty sure like 2 or 3 of them came from me. And so that kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of hurt my ego a little bit. I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna probably break 1,000 views, but we fell short of that by 99%, unfortunately. And so that brings us to the topic of this video, which is sacrificing art for the algorithm. And I don't know, like I feel like there's a lot of bad connotation when I say that. Oh, wow, you're sacrificing like your creative freedom in order to make something that appeals to people. In my opinion, sacrificing your art for the algorithm is kind of the same thing as going pop in music. The pop industry is made up of, I don't even know, like the same 5 or 10 chord progressions, and it's just variations, like very out. Variations is not even like doing it justice. It's like slight differences from each song to each song, um, because at the end of the day, like that's the formula. That's the algorithm that works for the music industry, those same 5 to 10 chord progressions. And so when people say, or when artists say that, oh, this singer is going pop, it means that, you know, they've kind of given up their creative side in order to appeal to more people and obviously make a living out of making music and art. I feel like a lot of people say that that's a bad thing, you know, like, oh, you're just in it for the money. You're not in it for making art the way that you want to make art. I don't really think of it that way, and let me explain why. So basically, in summary, the most prolific, notable, notorious, infamous, famous artists out there that are recognized as some of the greatest of all time, they have gone pop. You know, they have appealed to the algorithm in order to reach the ears, the eyes of millions of people. And after they get that audience, then they start making the music that they want to make. To me, I'm kind of taking that as a lesson of going pop isn't a bad thing if it's something that you're not planning to stay in for the entirety of your career. Because at the end of the day, you know, what good is your art if nobody sees it? A lot of people can argue that art is in the eye of the beholder and it only matters what you think of your art. If you want to look at things that way, then that's fine. If you want to just make art that you like, then that's fine. At the same time, if you want to make a living out of this, if you want to be successful in arts, you have to appeal to the eyes of all of the beholders around you, right? Basically, this is just a long-winded way of saying I'm going to be switching the way that I make my videos in order to garner more of an audience. Because to me, it hurts more whenever everything that I've worked really hard for doesn't get recognized. And if that means that I have to tweak my thumbnail a little bit, if I have to edit my title a little bit to make it more provocative or more engaging or hooking, if it means pumping out videos every single week, even though I know that I can get a better one out in maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, in order to appeal to the algorithm, in order to get on people's For You pages or trending pages or whatever, then I think I'm going to do that. You know, I think that's a necessary sacrifice that I have to make right now in order to get to the place where I want to be eventually. I want people to see, I want people to view and enjoy this and learn something from it too, because I failed a lot in life and I don't want people making the same mistakes. If going pop makes my message a little bit more appealing to people, then I will gladly change that about the way that I make my art. Yeah, I'm gonna try to post every single week now, and it's probably gonna be in kind of this form, more of just like a talking at the camera and just like ranting because it's definitely more scalable since I'm a sole creator, you know, writing, editing, filming, starring, you know, in these videos. I'm going to definitely try to make these pages, and it's just too much fun not to do it. But I can't do it at the rate that I want to without appealing to the algorithm. Very long-winded rant of basically saying, hey, I'm gonna be making videos a little bit more frequently, and they're going to be the titles and the thumbnails are going to be kind of like, you know, your cringy Mr. Beastificated. I don't even know if that's like the right terminology for it, but I'm just cringing at it right now because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to make these basic YouTube video thumbnails and titles that it just makes you click on the video. And yeah, I'm just cringing at that, at the future thought of that. But I'll try to make it as least cringy as possible, and we're just gonna see how that goes. Thanks for bearing with me on this cringe journey. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I got nothing else to talk about. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this far along if you have, and yeah.